Welcome to the Pure Progression Podcast. I'm Matthew Downing, co-host, alongside Quincy Avery, co-host. Today we're sitting down with SMU quarterback, the king of Dallas, Heisman campaign, Kevin Jennings. Kevin, appreciate you jumping on, man.
Appreciate y'all for having me on.
We got to introduce him like the Kevin Jennings.
Kevin
you know
Jennings,
what I'm saying?
the king of Dallas.
My dog just got a building named after him.
Man,
I know.
How did that feel?
Just super grateful, honestly. Just being a kid from Dallas, going to SMU, a school in Dallas, and just now having a building name after me. It's a little legacy piece I'm leaving behind. So it's amazing to me, and I'm just super grateful.
And current player doing it too. That's such a cool part of it.
Yeah.
It's not like 10 years down the line, right? You have a successful NFL career.
Right.
Like you're going into your last year for something like that to happen. It's gotta be awesome.
That's all I've been hearing. Just being a current player and having that building for you. It's crazy. So I'm just blessed to have it.
So when you get something like that, is that like Coach Lashlee? Is like he's the man behind that? Because I've seen him be like, I see him be a champion for you every day.
Right.
Like whether it's on Twitter, social, he's always like got your back. What is it like to play for a head coach like that?
Yeah, that's my guy. Like you said, the Twitter aspect of things. I'm on social media looking at things. And I'm seeing him, having my back and having the team back no matter what it is. So, it's a blessing to have a coach like that because I done heard some stories about other head coaches.
Man, it's a rare occurrence. To have the head coach quarterback relationship. I know he's your play caller too, and we'll get into that. But the head coach quarterback relationship, he's
offensive guru. Yeah,
he's kicking off a campaign for you before you go into your last season.
And he's full on with it too. You saw he was on stage and he just ripped the shirt open. It was like getting the Heisman.
He's riding for his guy.
He is. You know what I mean? He is full trust in me, so I appreciate him for that for sure. Yeah.
He's built a quarterback room that I think is different than any other. Right? You got a super young black quarterback coach, co-OC. You're out there starting quarterback. Right. You got Ty behind you. It's just a lot of flavor, the vibe and the energy he gives. Yeah. And it seems very authentic.
Right.
You get to see that through practices when I come out and check him out. It's always fun. It just seems like somebody you'd want to play for.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the main thing. We try to emphasize the coaching quarterback room. Just have fun with it. We've been playing the game since we was 8 years old, 7 years old. Just go out there and have fun. And the quarterback, I think it's a truly underrated room. We got Tyler Hawkins, great quarterback. You'll see him a lot this year, next year, and all of that. We got Cole Liner, Charlie Pfizer, all those guys.
Big line hurt coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's an underrated room for sure. So you'll see a lot of us this year.
And the point you're at now, it's been a path to get here. I mean, going into your third year starting, your last year at SMU. And for Coach Lashlee to get hired, kind of going back to your story, getting recruited, you're committed to Missouri State. Right. You're playing in a game. He's checking out. I'm sure guys have heard it. He's checking out players on the other team, and you just have the best game of your season.
Yeah.
How cool is it to come in with him as he's kind of building the program here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. And the first week he got hired, he came to the game and offered me that same week. So it's amazing just to have that. And I'm just super ready to get loaded with this guy this season. This is our last year. It's been 5 years together, and I know we're gonna do great things.
You've been electric, dynamic, done all these things. I think that you've also done something to me that's very impressive, and that's responding to adversity.
Yes, sir.
That first year you started, I'm talking about you were lighting the world on fire. Everything was great, was rolling.
Right.
Playoff game, it was tough, right? We had hit some bumps and bruises. Your ability to keep playing through that and then come out the next year all right, I'm ready. Right, I'm ready to go be the guy again. How do you do that? What's your mindset to make sure all right, I struggled. Yeah. And I think we had those conversations, you and I. Yeah, I struggled, but I'm ready. I'm good. What does that look like?
At the end of the day, you just gotta, look back at it like I mentioned earlier. As a kid, we played this game for the love of it, not for anything else. And I think just me getting the opportunity to play ball again, it means the world to me. Bad games are gonna happen for a quarterback, but it's about how you respond to it. I think the quicker you can throw that stuff away and just get ready for what's next, I think that's the biggest part of it.
Every single guy is gonna throw interception.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And then you go back in this year. I don't know if people know what you were playing through this football season.
Yeah.
You put up great numbers. They might not have noticed he didn't run as much or a little bit, but it was tough. It was. Each and every week, just checking in with you. Yeah. Hey man, I don't know if I can practice it. I don't know if I can practice. It was a lot of that, and then game time happens, and you're prepared. What are you doing throughout the week to mentally prepare? Okay, I can't practice, but I got to be able to execute a game plan. Despite all these injuries, hurt, harm, all those things.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I mean, getting hurt week 2 versus Baylor, after that, it was days I'll be in coming back on Mondays, like walkthroughs and stuff. Can't even walk. And, like, I'm like limping. Last year, like, are you good? You gonna be able to like go? I'm like
living in the training room.
I'm just walking.
Yeah.
I can barely even move. So there's things like that. But I think it's a testimony to my team, my coaching staff. You know, they have my back no matter what. I just think everything I done went through, you know, they've been there for me each and every time.
And with dealing with an injury, and you can't get on the field physically all week long, like the mental preparation, right, to prepare yourself for Saturday. Because if you're not going to be able to get the reps physically during the week, you got to get the reps mentally. So what does a week process look like for you? You're prepping for a game. It's Sunday. You've kind of wrapped the tape from the previous week. Like, what's Kevin Jennings' process to get ready to play on Saturday?
Yeah, I think just – it's a whole process throughout the week. You know, coaching staff that prepare me for, you know, Mondays, you know, it's a walkthrough. You know, we're getting prepared for the other team, getting to know what they do and all the stuff they throw at us. So Monday's a walkthrough. Tuesdays, like second downs. Thursdays, Wednesdays, third down stuff. So it's just a whole process throughout the whole thing, just preparing for it. You know, I couldn't practice much, so I think that was the main thing for me, just watching film and, you know, getting the mental part of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, super important to get ready for Saturday. And, I mean, ACC Media Days just wrapped up, so you know that happens. Everyone kind of flips a switch. Right. It's like, okay, here we go. It's kind of time to play. Late July, getting ready for camp.
Yep.
Like, what's the vibe 2026 coming off that year last year? You guys 2 years ago were in the college football playoff.
Right.
Like, you're capable of winning championships at this program. Like, what's the vibe with the guys going into camp?
I think the vibes are really high, honestly. You know, the past 2 years we had pretty good seasons, but I think this year this team is like no other, honestly. You know, the confidence through the roof. We're a really competitive team, fast, physical, and all that. So I think the vibes are extremely high. You know, we got a good team this year, and I'm just ready to shock the world, honestly.
Yeah, and you're going into, to me, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of guys in similar situations to you, you know what I'm saying? Getting ready for that final season of college football. Expectations are high, right? High for your team, high for you, and then you have the gravity of like the NFL on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, next year is the NFL. How do you stay in the moment? Like, how do you stay in the process and make sure every single day you can just focus on being the best version of you so you can be the best person for this team and not get caught in the things down the road?
Yeah, I think it's like a team thing, honestly, because, you know, once I get too high, you know, once I see the team get too high, you know, it's a thing we can just come together and talk about it. You know, they stay on my butt. You know, when I do things wrong, when I'm, you know, in the wrong, they get on my butt and they just keep me grounded. So I think that's the main thing, having the people around you that will keep you grounded. My parents, you know, the SMU staff, just everybody around me, you know, they try to just stay on my butt and, you know, get me right.
Yeah, and then the staff, you're in the room, we talked about the quarterback room.
Right.
De'Aaron King, quarterback coach, he was obviously very successful at Houston, successful at Miami. Being in a room with him, he's dealt with expectations before. He was kind of in that NIL era of dealing that.
He was the first one.
He was the first one, right?
Like, he got the first bag in NIL. He got the first bag.
He understands the kind of outside noise of it. How has he been able to help you stay grounded, you know, prep for it, and just prepare you to kind of live in that moment and be a guy on the team?
Yeah, I think that's a guy I can go to for anything, honestly. You know, he's been in the same situations I've been in. You know, like you said, the final year, the pressure and all that. He had all of that, and I just think it's truly a blessing to have the pressure. You know, you wouldn't have pressure if you're not doing something right. So I think he just told me to go out there and just go play the game, have fun with it. I think that's what you see on every Saturday with me. I'm having fun, dance with the teammates, joking, I'm like dapping them up and all that stuff. I think that's the main thing with me, just having fun out there, and I think everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, I mean, and with De'Aaron and Coach Lashlee, that relationship, we talked about like the head coach relationship sometimes is not always there, but especially with your play caller.
Right.
Like, what is that dynamic like, you know, throughout the week, talking with Coach De'Aaron King, Coach Lashlee, like, hey, I like to run this stuff. This is what I want to do. What are those conversations like? So you guys are on the same page and there's a lot of synergy.
Yeah, I think me and Lashlee been together for 5 years, so it's kind of, he just know the back of his hand what I like and all that thing. So for the most part, you know, he'll script the plays and all of that. He'll ask me, like, what script do you want? Like, what do you want the opening job to be or whatever and not. So I think that's just a whole confidence booster, him trusting me to be able to call my own plays and things like that. So it's amazing, and we're just going to continue to build this bond and, you know, take it over this season.
How many plays are you calling for yourself? How often does that shit happen?
I'm good. I got it.
Waving them off like, hey, coach, headset off, man.
Nothing crazy like that.
Not yet.
He'll just grill some. Yeah, not yet. He'll just grill some stuff like on Thursday. Send me a picture. He'll be like, "What script do you want?" It'd be like an opening script of such and such. And of course, I'm gonna go with the one with the most play. I mean, throwing plays on there, most passing plays. So yeah, that's the main thing for me, honestly.
You've had so many great plays, explosive plays at SMU. When you look back, like, what is a play that you think about right now that kind of shows who Kevin Jennings is? Like, I want to know who you are. Hey, go watch this play, and we're gonna throw it in the pocket.
I think it's definitely that TCU play. I scoot back in the pocket. I'm just jogging back, down one up, and just slung it from the outside angle. I think that play right there, and also the behind the back Stanford game.
That was crazy.
I think that's the thing we went through the whole week. Just how we gonna do this? Normally it's supposed to be like a little flip, and then me and Derek over there just throwing behind the backs. Last you saw it, he was like, do 5 in a row. We were running play. And then he put it in the opening script. And I'm like,
that's wild.
That's when you're in the meeting room on Sunday and you're clicking through the tape. There's certain plays where you're like, gosh, please don't play it. Please don't play it. And when that comes up, you're like,
yeah, you got to play that one.
Let's play that.
After that happened, you hear the whole student section just going crazy. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's
nothing like it, man. Yeah. And then the legacy piece, too, on the field, outstanding player. And you'll forever be remembered at SMU. So. But the impact that you've made in the Dallas community is, I mean, Coach has talked about it. You're around the students, you're around the people, kind of just embrace that whole thing. When you're remembered at SMU, besides the player on the field, what do you hope the community remembers about Kevin Jennings?
I think the loyalty aspect, because, in this day of age, it's kind of hard to see someone stay out of school for 4 to 5 years. So I think that's definitely the main thing. I'm a kid born and raised in Dallas, and just the loyalty aspect that I show to Dallas. I think that's the main thing.
What he means is that these schools was out here throwing him the bag. I know that they were, because they told me that they were throwing him the bag, and my dog stayed committed,
for sure,
not only to SMU but to a great coaching staff, a great community, and a great city, because it meant so much to him. And I think that means a lot about. It shows a lot about your character, like the things that you value, the things that you want, the legacy you want to leave. And I think that's why when you walk out of here with that college degree. You have a building.
For sure.
The Kevin Jennings building's over here, so that's fire.
And they chase the short-term success. Like, you're looking at big picture-wise. You want to have success in the next level. Playing for a guy like Coach Lashlee and being in the same offense, you guys know each other so well. He coaches quarterbacks really hard, pushes you, like, the value in that. A lot of guys don't see that. Like, how can I, do something this year? How can I make money this year? But you're like, I like football. I want to be with these coaches. I'm sure that means a ton, especially trying to get to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, of course, money is good. I mean, a lot of people chase it, it's good. But, I mean, it's about the bigger picture. You can make more money in the NFL. So I think that's the main goal for me. This coaching stuff going to get me right and prepare for the NFL. So I think that's what I was looking at, coming back to SMU.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you do it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Definitely appreciate you hopping on with us, talking about some ball, talking about the things that are important to you.
Sure.
Look forward to a special season. Like, what should we look out for this year? When we're watching SMU, what do we got to cut the TV on and look for?
I'll say both sides of the ball, honestly, just fast, physical. I think that's our main things right there. And then we got the things on top of it. We got family, competitive excellence, hard work, and finish. We're going to be a finishing team this year. I know last year some games we didn't get the job done. We didn't finish. Like, you can go back to the Cal game. We could have went to the championship, but we didn't finish that game. So I think this year, when the opportunity comes upon us, we're going to finish.
Y'all got some dogs. Y'all got some tight ends. Y'all got a new running back. Y'all got some stuff going on over here. Can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, pumped to see SMU return back to that championship picture, back in the playoff hunt. We're pumped to watch you play. Appreciate you getting on, man.
For sure. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Today we're interviewing co-offensive coordinator, quarterback coach at SMU, former Houston legend, Miami legend, NIL legend, Coach D'Eriq King. D'Eriq, appreciate you joining us, man.
I don't know about legend, but I appreciate you.
In our eyes,
I think that you deserve the legend.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
I'm washed up now, trying to coach. So
Swiss Army knife when he played, all over the place, man.
What does it feel like to be one of the youngest coordinators in? What is it? FBS or what is it? Well,
30 under 30, 40 under. Every list you got.
There's a list.
He's on it. He's on it.
Now. What does that feel like?
It's a good feeling. I'm just blessed, right? Like, right place, right time. Working with great people. Like, it's nothing that I did. But I just kind of, when I got in coaching, try to put my head down and work as hard as I can. So I'm in a blessed situation. I'm grateful to be here.
Into coaching now, I'm sure people remember you. It's not that long ago. Derek was a baller at Houston. When you first got there, you had to play some receiver.
Receiver,
baller
kick return,
receiver,
punt return.
Kick return.
Yeah.
Then balled at quarterback. Transferred to Miami. When you're doing that, you're coaching for Coach Lashlee now. We'll get into the coaching journey. But as a player, choosing to play for Coach Lashlee, what's like, hey, I want to play for that guy?
Yeah, well, I entered the portal really late.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I still had like a lot of good options. I was talking to Quincy, matter of fact, about certain schools that I was talking to. But I had to, I went against Coach Lashlee 2 years when he was the offense coordinator at SMU, and I was playing at Houston. So I played against him for 2 years. So I got to kind of see what kind of offense that he ran.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of success with Shane Buechele, a guy that I've been knowing since going through the Elite 11 and all that stuff. So I hit up Shane, asked how Coach Lashlee was. He said nothing but great things, and just me watching his offense from afar. And I was like, man, I think I can be successful in this offense. And then going back to his history, he had a lot of quarterbacks that played like me. Coach Nick Marshall, obviously I had Cam Newton in the system, things like that. So it was similar guys that's like more mobile, athletic, and so I thought it would be a good fit for me.
And it was. You went out there and killed it at Miami. Kind of banged up, though. It was tough. That was year was tough. It was like, I know who you are and the things that you can do. And it was just like, never got to be the full version. What is that like? To really know, like, I think I could do more, but I can't do it right now.
Yeah. It was, 2020 was a weird year for everybody. So I transferred to Miami. As soon as I got there, my father passed away. Mm-hmm. Right. We started spring ball. We had 3 practices in spring ball, and then we all get sent home. So, like, for a new coordinator, new quarterback, new system, new offense, like, we didn't really have an offseason to get, like, really good at our identity, right? So we go into that season, and, we started off hot, and we were top 10 team in the country, playing okay on offense, and then, play Clemson, lose that game, and then, obviously, me getting injured at the back end of that year. Like, I knew it could have been way more, like you said. Like, I knew it could have been a really, really good offense. I could have played better, but I played okay. But it was, it was all – I look back on that moment, it was me transferring to Miami. I went there trying to go to the league and get drafted and have the best year I can go, like have the best year I can. But like looking back on that moment, all of that was for this, right? The way I get to impact kids now and coach for Coach Lashlee, and it's all about networking and meeting people. So thank God that he led me to Miami to start my career off.
And then you go through that. How does that impact how you work with these guys now? Like Kev last year, really tough injury, right?
Yep.
We would like people didn't even know how difficult the injury was. But just like getting people in the right headspace, like pushing guys forward, how do you take those moments as a player and make them make you a better coach?
Yeah, I think, me playing at a high level and playing big-time football, like it's all good and gravy when you're winning, throwing for a lot of yards. But as soon as you lose a game or get hurt, people forget about you. So I remember how I felt in those moments, and I try to like preach to our guys in the quarterback room now. It's like, man, like what kind of impact do you want to leave? It can't be just about ball because some days it's going to end for everybody, whether it's college or NFL. So you got to have your identity outside of the sport. That's what I learned about myself. And I seen a bunch of guys that had everything in football and had no identity outside the sport. And I never want that for the guys that I coach because of stuff that I've been through. So like we talk a lot about things other than just sports, right? Because I don't want those guys to have to, when they get done with this game and it's like, man, I don't know who I am for the next 3 or 4 years. Like, no, you need to figure out who you are now. That way it could be an transition into life. And
you made that transition. Obviously dealt with injuries at Miami. Brief stint in the NFL, undrafted.
Very brief.
Yeah. Hey, longer than a few other guys. Longer than me. I was there about 3 days. You were there a little longer than me. But it ends for everybody at some point.
Yep.
And everyone processes it a different way. And you got to go through a grieving process as a player. But going through that and flipping the script and like, I want to coach now. How did going through that process of like, I'm hanging it up. Now it's time for me to give back.
But his grieving process wasn't even really a grieving. It was crazy. Because teams were still calling him. He's like, I'm about to coach.
For sure. But at the end of the day, you're done playing. How you
mentally do that, though.
It's a tough conversation.
Like, people want you, and you're like, nah.
Yeah, because when I signed in New England as an undrafted free agent, I was there very brief. Not even for a whole cup of coffee, half a cup of coffee. Right? I was there briefly. I got released, and I went back home. And, that was the first year when I was in Miami. So I had a little bit of cash that I can kind of figure out what I wanted to do. So I was doing everything, from trading stock to commercial real estate. And I was still training just in case the team called me. And then maybe 4 or 5 weeks later, Carolina Panthers called me because they was about to play Lamar Jackson and they needed a scout team quarterback that could run power read. So I was there. Matt Rule just got fired. Steve Wilson, interim head coach. So I was there for a little bit. Got released as soon as it was Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Matt Corral, P.J. Walker. So they signed me because P.J. Walker hurt his ankle. So when he got back healthy, I'm in the indoor watching PJ work out. I was like, he's healthy. I'm about to get cut.
I'm about to get cut.
Yeah. So
As soon as he gets back,
so I'm like, okay, I'm watching.
You prepped yourself for it.
Yeah, I'm watching PJ work out. I'm like, yeah, he looks pretty healthy. So I go back to my hotel room. I get a text that day, hey, bring your iPad, the whole 9. I get cut, right? When I go play in the XFL, the reason I play in the XFL, for one, I love the game, and I thought I was going to go there and maybe I'll get another opportunity. But the real reason was because, like, I didn't want my career to end on me getting hurt in Miami, end on an injury, right? And then I had just lost my dad. My dad was a football coach, taught me everything I knew. I really did that for him, right? And then once I got that season out and I finished healthy and I played okay when I got in and all that stuff, I was like, man, I'm good. Like, if the team calls me, great. But if not, like, I don't know what I want to go do. And thank God that Coach Lashlee, me and him stayed in contact for 2 years for the time I was away from him. And I'm blessed to have this job now.
And the progression has happened quick now. I mean, you made an impact very fast as a coach. Analyst, quarterback coach, you got the co-offensive coordinator. Talk about that time and that transition of like, okay, I've hit the ground running, and then learning all of those things along the way of seeing it on the other side of the table. Like when you were a player, you saw it one way. Now you're a coach, you see it a whole different way.
Man.
Explain that kind of transition and that mindset.
Yeah, it's a lot different. I think back to when I was playing. Like I thought I knew football. Like I knew football, but like not to the details that we kind of talk about in that room and that I know now. So going from player to coach is a lot different. Like when I got hired in 2023, I got hired in June of 2023. I'm used to going in the meeting room, the cut-up's already made, like the game plan is almost done. We talking a little bit, but like game plans for the most part is done. For me, having to make the cut-ups, going on Visio, learning how to. I'm not a computer guy. I had no idea how to do any of that stuff.
On that shit on Visio, making libraries and shit.
Drawing in the Visio. So I'm in there
2:30 in the morning. You're like barely looking at the screen.
And you know how it is. Like when you get into coaching, it's very competitive. It's a lot of young guys that get into business that wants to move up and they want to get a job and they want to be the best at their job. So it's like people will help me, but it was like help you to a certain extent. They don't want you to be better than them, right? So I'm in there on you. It's Thursday night. Thursdays are, hey, you come in here, practice, meet, and you gone by 12. You're home by noon. I'm in here till 7 p.m. and 20 on Thursday because I'm trying to learn how to draw in Visio, right? And then that Friday morning, I got to go take every pass play we got in that game plan. I have to go take this to our receivers coach and let him see it before I give it to the players. And he was like, no, this is a little bit too deep. This is too shallow. I don't like the angle. So you got to go back in there, change a lot of stuff. So like me learning that, and then just but that helps you be a better coach. Like just details, why we're doing certain run plays, why we're doing certain pass plays. And I thought, we get into it. It's not like I didn't get into it to, hey, man, when I become assistant receivers coach or a senior analyst, like next year I'm going to be position coach. I had no idea. But I was just trying to be really good at my job because I have pride in my work rather than, people got jobs and that just kind of happened for me. So it was a lot different, but I'm grateful now that I have the job.
Dog, that you talking about those Thursday nights brings back so many miserable memories for me. Because when I was coaching at UCLA, worked for Norm Chow, Mondays, right? They create the game book, all the runs, all the passes. You know how it goes. Mm-hmm. And this is back before we had iPads. So every week we had to print out every single pass play.
You better have it right.
So Norm, he handwrite all this stuff. He gives you it, and then you
got to put it in the computer.
You put it in the computer, you do all that. Well, Norm would get the sheet back, and he'd erase stuff and start writing again, right? But I had all the plays numbered. Man, I do all the game book, cool. He erases it on the plane to Arizona State. He calls a play on his pencil copy that is not what we have in the game plan. Quarterback wristband, something else. We called 2 timeouts that game.
That's the worst.
Because the wristband's wrong.
Oh,
I got MF so bad.
I'm surprised you didn't get fired.
It wasn't my fault. Bro, you did this.
It's always your fault.
It is. Hand up every time.
It's always your fault.
If you're walking in the building, like as a player, it's like 9 p.m. You're probably watching some tape. You're walking by the GA room, and they're just like, they're poking at the space bar, pressing play, cutting it up. It's like machine.
And I'll say this: I have heard a lot of horrible stories about GAs and all that. I had it great. I had it good here. Like it was tough. I was learning.
Yeah.
But I'm sure other guys had it worse than me, and I only did it for 4 or 5 months. So it was. I hear like some of my homeboys that's in coaching, like they went through a lot. So it's I had it better than most.
Yeah.
You think that mindset of just the way you want to do things, showing up as your best self, is that from being the son of a coach? Because I think that there's so many advantages from having your dad be a football coach and be somebody who can not only lead you on the field but lead you off the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my dad was very, very tough on me and my brother when it came to working hard and being the best. Like he was I'm super competitive because what my dad was. If I lost a game, it was like the world ended. I didn't lose my first football game until I got to high school. From Little League to middle school to high school. That's the first time I lost a football game in my life. And I went home on the bus with my shoulder pads, helmet on, went to the house with everything. I didn't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? But my dad instilled hard work and being competitive in me and all my siblings. And obviously being a son of a coach, he was a defensive coach too. So like I remember being at a restaurant and having a napkin and drawing up cover 2, right? So like just like little things like that kind of helped me out, while I was playing and while I was like getting into coaching.
Yeah,
you building all that. Now you're co-OC and like we don't know what the next steps are. We don't know what it's going to look like next year. I know you always are thinking about right now, and that's the job of a football coach. But at the same time, you got to start building your own offense, like you're building your own library, building your own system, building like your play calling philosophy. What has that been like taking that next step as a coach? It's
been great, and that's one of the things that Coach Lashlee is the best head coach in the country. Like he gave me a lot of responsibility this spring. Like I got to call plays at practice. I got to kind of lead installs. I got to be in different situations, 2-minute drill, backed up, and whatever it was. Like he gave me that responsibility to call plays. And I learned a lot this offseason. And I go back to my college career when I was playing at Houston. I had a different coach every single year in my college career. So, playing for Tom Herman, Major Applewhite, Brian Johnson, Kendall Brown, Daniel Hogerson, Marco Blackwhite, Rhett Lashlee, Minnie D. I had a bunch of different coaches. And, like, when you're going through this, like, God dang, I got a new coach every year. Like, now I'm looking back on it. Now me being a coach.
You're banking plays.
Exactly. So when it comes to, building a system and all that, I got a lot of stuff, obviously, on the computer that's in my mind that I liked when I played and that, eventually one day if I get the opportunity to go call plays or do whatever I want to do, I'm going to have a good, bank of stuff that I like.
And then to have the mentorship from Coach Lashlee, the development piece, because it doesn't happen everywhere where coaches are coaching the other coaches, right? So to have him in your corner, he's talked about his relationship with Gus Malzahn and who he was in his coaching journey. Mm-hmm. What has Coach Lashlee's impact been on you so far as a coach in terms of development and trying to take it to the next level?
It's been great. Like he's I got hired in 23, so I'm in the receiver room all year. I get hired in 23, we got a bowl game. So I got to switch my brain from receivers meeting to quarterback meetings. I go in that meeting, and he was in there. I look back on that meeting, I was like, man, like that meeting was not good compared to what it is now. But I was blessed to be in a situation where I can learn on the job, right? And I feel comfortable going to Lashlee about anything. So I can go ask him a question. And so he coached me and got me right. And then obviously, like him coaching me, when I planned for him, I learned a lot from him. And one thing about Coach Lashlee, he's the best communicator I've ever been around. I've been around a lot of good coaches.
So valuable.
But the way he communicated to the quarterback, the way he communicates in meetings, the way he communicates to the offensive unit, communicates to the team, like it's the best I've ever been around. It's clear. It makes sense. He never like knocked you down. He always trying to like uplift you, and that's kind of what he's done to me in my coaching career. Like he's given me, a lot more than than I would think in the last 3 years. Going from an analyst to now co-OC, quarterback coach. He gives me a lot of freedom, a lot of confidence. I can go do this thing at a high level.
And then you're sitting in a quarterback meeting now with one of the best quarterbacks in the country. We just sat down with Kevin. He talked about the impact you have on him. Mm-hmm. What is it like to coach a guy like that and then have a quarterback room that's super dynamic, a bunch of different guys for the future? But to have a guy like Kevin, what is it like to be in a quarterback room with that type of player?
Yeah, I think he makes us all a better coach, right? You can call certain stuff and he'll get you out of it. But it's been great watching Kevin. So I got here in 2023. I was working with receivers. He was the backup quarterback as a redshirt freshman. And then 24, he took over, from week 4 on. And, like, just seeing his progression from that year to now and how he's matured and became a better leader and more vocal, the things that Quincy does with him when he's training him, like, he's gotten a lot better in the last 2 years. And I think that's going to be who he is, when he moves on to the NFL and has hopefully a 10-plus year career in the NFL. But it's great. Like, Kevin is very humble. Like, he's – like you said, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think talent-wise, he has just as much talent as anybody else in the country. But he comes every day in the building and wants to work. Humble, teammates love him. If you guys go see him run sprints, he's going to be finishing first every single time. You go see him squat. The way he works, I think that's just who he is. And I think his parents did a great job raising him. So it's an honor for me to coach a guy like that that's really that good, but doesn't have that. I'm better than the world type mentality. So he tries to get
super grounded and humbled.
Super grounded. Yeah. His story came from nothing, right? He had one offer because last year offered him at SMU, and now he's a superstar at this level. So he's going to have a great last year.
I think that doing anything takes confidence, right? But you don't just have confidence. You really got to earn it. What was the moment where you like, oh, I can do this. Like, I'm actually good at what I thought I was going to be good at. Like, I got it. I'm ready. I'm ready to go lead these young men and be the quarterback coach, the OC, all these different things.
You know, it's I would think I have quiet confidence, right? So like any room I walk in, I feel like I belong in that room. And I think, you know, just, you know, the way I prepare. Now I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning as I go. But like, it's funny because the offensive staff, everybody that I coach with, they all coached me 4 or 5 years ago, right? So that's kind of a weird dynamic when, you know, you play for these guys. Now you co-OC, you know, you talking more in the meetings, you talking about installs and like what we gonna call today and all that. But like, you got to just be, you know, super convicted about what you believe in, all right? And it's very easy here because I work with a bunch of great people. But like, you know, I got to have conviction about the things that I believe in and how I think and how I process things to go in that room and speak freely. So I think, you know, my dad and my mom, they raised us to be super confident, but you only get confidence by the work you put in. And I know I work my ass off, so I try to, you know, lean on that stuff to you know, move me forward in this profession.
And the switch we talked about the switch from the player to the coach, and X's and O's, you didn't know what you don't know. But the different side of it is like when you're a player, you're questioning decisions that coaches make all the time. No matter if you're the starter or the backup, you're like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Or, I should be playing. Why am I not playing? Mm-hmm. Now on the other side of the table, like what are some things as a player that you just were so naive about, but now you're like, I get it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, this is our job, right? It's how we feed our families. So like, you know, you're going to put people on the field that's dependable, that you trust, they work hard, they do the right things every day, right? So like, as a player, you're like, man, this guy's really talented. Like, he should be playing more than this guy. But that guy was way more dependable. Like, you want a guy that's going to be in the game that's going to know what to do, that you can trust, that's going to show up on time, right? So maybe that's kind of one thing that I was like, man, like, we had super talented guys in Miami that didn't play a lot. We had super talented guys at Houston that didn't play a lot. And looking back on it, it was a reason for that, right? So, you know, we all, you know, obviously we do what's best for the players, and we put out there who we think's the best player on the field. But, like, it's another aspect to it, especially me having a son now. It's like, man, I got a kid at home that I got to go feed. I'm not going to put a quarterback in the game that hasn't earned it, right? So, and especially in this, you know, I'm not going to say this generation. I'm in this generation, but like
it's careful now.
Yeah,
careful now.
I might be unk now a little bit, but
almost
I might be. I'm 20. I might be unk now, but it's just, you know, everybody wants it now. Like, you got to go earn it, right? And that's one thing that I love about our guys. Like, a lot of our guys weren't highly recruits. Like, they were at SMU and, you know, they want to go earn it every day. And the guys that do that, those are the guys that have, you know, really good careers, whether it's college or NFL. The guys that's too cool for school, that's really talented, but don't want to put the work in, don't want to get their hands dirty, they don't make it very far. So that's one thing I learned.
Excuse my language, but I fucking hate those kids. Those kids really make my ass itch. You know what I'm saying? When you're so talented, but you don't want to do the work. I think we've all been around. Yeah. We've seen some of those guys, and we
ain't gonna say no names, but
we've thrown with them.
What's understood doesn't need to be explained.
I've seen the most talented people not make it because they refuse to do the little things that are required in order for you to be as successful as you need to be. And seeing guys who have the opportunity to really be great and not do those little things, it bothers me in a way that's so unique.
The number one rule that we have, and like Carson Moore is our assistant quarterback coach, and now Tyler Van Dyke, I will not recruit a kid if he's a cool guy. You know what I mean? Like, so that's number one we have in the quarterback room. Don't be a cool guy. Like, if you're gonna be too cool and you want to, you know, walk around with your gear, but you don't want to work hard in the weight room, you don't want to get your hands dirty. Like, we want blue collar guys that's gonna be in our building, leading our team. Like, Kevin is a blue collar quarterback. Like, I don't want the guys that's posting a million videos on Instagram. It's fine, post your workouts and do all that stuff, but like, you got to be willing to work. And it's so easy to tell those guys that really love football or the guys that love what football can do for them. You know what I mean? So we want to find guys that really love it.
Man, as soon as I see a kid with like 4-star quarterback
in the bio,
get his ass out of here. I don't want to deal with him. I'm not going to say nothing for you, but that's what I don't want to deal with.
The generation switch, now you're recruiting.
Yeah.
I mean, social media is so different now. It's if you don't have it, you're honestly behind the 8 ball.
No, you have to have it.
The opportunity that it provides. But the balance piece of, like, you're going to find a guy, recruit a guy, someone in the portal, whatever it may be. How do you figure out, is this guy a lunch pail, blue-collar player, or is he – I'm not really sure because it's all blended together at this point.
Yeah, I think, you know, the most important thing for us, I'm pretty sure for every college coach, is the game film, for one. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of see how they play on Friday nights, right? And then, and I'm not going to lie, like, seeing those videos at work, I like seeing quarterbacks that I'm recruiting working out at IG and seeing how the ball comes with their hand, the footwork, and who they train with. Because that's a big thing for me. Who do you train with? Like, that tells me a lot, too. And I think getting to know them personally, getting to know their parents, how they were brought up, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's really important. Like the kid, that we signed, like he's I don't think I can say his name, but he's a really good player. But he comes from a great foundation with his mom and dad, both, blue collar workers. He loves working. He's getting better every day. And I think it's, you can tell by the game tape and just like getting to know those guys personally.
I think that you probably experience this more, but parents would be a major reason that I didn't recruit a kid. I don't think that folks understand like how big of an impact they have not only that kid and his attitude every day. Like the woe is me kid usually is not just because of them. It's because their parents instilled in them like, oh, it's not right. Let me call the coach. Mm-hmm. Like, you still got to deal with that at this stage in football?
Not a lot, right, Coach? We don't.
You don't recruit those kind of kids.
Yes, but we also
not in this building, kid.
Yeah, we won't really talk to parents about playing time. Like that's a conversation as a man you got to come have with your coach, right? Mm-hmm. So like we don't have parents calling us. I mean, why is my son not playing? Now they might say stuff in social media or whatever, but like we don't really have to deal with those conversations here. We got great kids on our team, and I think most of them they're willing enough. I hope our relationship is good enough they can come talk to us about something that they don't agree with, so we can hash it out and move on.